Video 190 of our recaps, it is. And today we thought we'd continue on the theme of last week's of decorating and styling, and we will start our decorations correct this week. So
I say we.
okay,
You.
I will start off with doctoration or whatever I said. Anyway,
Because everybody knows you're a doctor.
with lockdown, lots of people have been doing online classes, and that means there's been lots of videos on things like YouTube and Facebook, and we watch a lot of them. Some are very good, and some are absolutely dreadful. So
It's a spectrum.
yes, a spectrum.
There's always been a spectrum.
And we were watching a video today, and it sort of really fits in well with what we wanted to teach as far as today's class was concerned, which is about balance, technique, and finding decoration time to dance, because this video had lots of things in it which could be easily corrected if the people in it went to lessons. Or particularly came to our class if they wanted to as well, if they our class is open to everybody. So first one we discussed was balance today. So again, like last week, not following our normal format of class. So we talked about our feet position, and we talked about the physics of mass over the point at which you balance. So normally we have our feet in a very slight V shape, which tango shoes naturally force you into. If you try forcing your feet straight, you end up reducing the size of margin we have when we move our chest, so it's easier to take our chest over that balance point and cause us to topple and fall, which is obviously not good. If we overdo the turnout, when we move forward, our knees track outwards and you end up walking like John Wayne. And this sort of had limits, and we did a couple of exercises where, for couples, you did these different foot sort of placements and just seeing how you can influence each other, which obviously has its effect. And obviously for solo dancers, you can actually work out where your balance is and if you want to do styling. We also talked about what happens to the lower back. So if you do your foot straight and you try to go back, you put lower strain on your lower back, you get less distance you can travel, therefore less opportunities to style things out. So this class was advertised as giving away the secrets of pro dancing. One thing we should really stress, and we did stress this throughout the class, is that pros can do quite unnatural things with their body because they've normally been dancing since a very young age. Quite a few of them have backgrounds in things like classical ballet, where again they put their bodies into quite unnatural positions, and their bodies have grown with that.
Or they just, even if they started later, they train every single day and have made those changes to their bodies.
And when you see them doing it in a demo or a show dance or something like that, they only do it for a short period of time. They're purely doing it for visual effects. They're trying to dance like a professional dancer
In a social setting.
is not realistic. But what we can do is look at things that they do other than sort of just from a visual point of view, but what they're actually doing inside can help that. That can help with that. So we had Alison went through quite a lot of stuff on front ocho, so that was our core concept today. So would you like to talk for this?
I can, yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to have our weight. So we're in our tango posture, so we've got our knees flexed, weight forward, heels off the ground. We're going to put our weight on our left foot so our right foot's free. We're going to twist our hips so they're facing the diagonal, and we're trying to keep our chest forward. So we're going to push down as we take that step across. Roll through the foot to transfer the weight, and hit this balance point, bring our feet together, and then pivot. And the same on the other way, so we're pushing down into the floor, rolling through the foot, hitting our balance point before we pivot. So we're really talking about making sure that you hit that balance point before you do anything. So taking your time to make sure that you are balanced.
So we talked a lot about how this, about our centre of mass coming over that pivot point, the torsion in the back, creating that ability to turn. So once we got our balance sorted, we then discussed what else pros do, which basically means slowing stuff down. So again, we've seen recent videos where you don't know if the piece of music has been overlaid badly or if they've got a different piece of music playing because it doesn't seem to match up. So you don't want to rush file dancing. There is a temptation to try and rush your steps because if you have got poor balance, which hopefully been addressed earlier in this video, you might try and rush your steps because that tries to disguise balance changes, but then you miss quite a lot of opportunities in the music. The music doesn't just continuously flow, it has ebbs and rises, it stops. So actually listening to music allows you to do that. And also if you're going 100 miles an hour all the time, you may miss those stops and continue dancing through it. While if you're doing a bit slower, you can either preempt those stops, or if you haven't preempted them and they've suddenly come from nowhere, you can actually make it look like you have stopped, which is what some of the pros do all the time. And also these ideas of pausing and stopping and slowing stuff down, this is where you get the opportunity to decorate. So last week we talked about decorations, the amount of followers influencing the leader. Today, if we're talking about the leader, actually just slowing down your shows by leading this, followers feeling that. It's all about communication and then doing your decorations and the leader feeling those decorations. And if they are feeling the decorations and feel how the followers doing them, they can then add their own. But what we did stress today was, and this was again a major theme of today, is how little modifications can have a huge effect. So we talked about like foot position. Again, when we decorate, we don't want to do anything. So if I'm doing like a little sweep behind, I want to keep my chest pretty much stationary. If I start turning it, it leads the follower to do something. And the same for the arm as well. There's a tendency for when people do malonga to rock their upper body, and this breaks the connection because you can't communicate effectively. So you want to make sure that everything moves as one, and you don't introduce random movements which will then influence the lead and therefore change.
Same for the follower. When the follower's doing decorations, that you are balanced and that you maintain the position in your top half while your legs are doing whatever they want to do, so that again that you are balanced while you're doing your decorations, so you're not influencing the leader in any way. It still has that small amount of communication so that each of us knows the other one who's doing the decorations, and we know that we need to wait for them and things, but it's not so much that we're actually having a kind of a fight over a balance.
So something that's quite nice to be able to do is, if you are doing your normal forward off shows, if we take the follower across to our left, we lead it with the chest, and we take our left foot across in front of the right, we can end up in these mirrored off shows, and then we've got opportunities to do our own decorations if we slow it down. And we should be very well balanced. We're coming to quite an open embrace to do this, and we're really feeling each other where we are while doing it. So that's a good exercise. It's nice to move as well to actually add to your dancing. So the key of today is work out how to do your balance, understand how little changes can affect those ideas, slow stuff down so you don't rush. This gives you a lot of opportunities to dance and therefore make it look more. Also, quality of movement. When a pro dances fast, it looks effortless. If it looks
choreographed.
Yeah, if it looks frantic, there's extra movement going in, and there's normally a failing of balance and technique. So always start off with tango posture, get that right, get your foot position right, because that leads to the rest of the movement. Anyway, as last week, numbers of COVID cases in the UK are still going up. More areas in Wales are going into lockdown. It's really not a good idea to be travelling around, especially for something as trivial as tango. So please keep yourself safe and your family safe, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you for watching this Urban Tango Nights recap. If you like these videos, please subscribe to our channel by clicking the logo. You can find more of our class summaries down here and other videos of us dancing tango over here. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Meetup. Links are in the description below, and you can also subscribe to our newsletter using the link below.